And now, Chris and I are going to take you on a trip to the past, almost 20 years back to the age of the Sega Genesis, to visit a mouse, a Mickey Mouse, in a new edition of Classic Corner.
Once upon a mouse. Alex, I'm not saying that. It's stupid. Nobody would say it.
Well, it's how the story begins. It's not like I wrote it, it's in the game.
Dude, you can't substitute mouse for time. And now I've got this weird image of mice traveling through time fighting crime, except they're so small they can't do anything. Yeah.
Okay, alright, well, let's just move on. Our story begins in the woods. And like any love-struck couple, Mickey and Minnie Mouse are holding hands and spinning in circles, very likely telling each other how happy they are together.
You know, 5 out of 6 doctors would not recommend this, as you'd probably get motion sickness or a twisted ankle.
So life is peaches and cream until the evil witch Miserabelle comes, puts Minnie in her pocket, and zips away.
Most likely on her Nimbus 2000. Lame.
Very. Anyway, Mickey furrows his brow as much as he can and follows the...
Say Nimbus Trail. Dude, say Nimbus Trail.
Okay, fine. Follows the Nimbus Trail until he reaches the... Wait for it.
Castle of Illusion.
The setup is simple, and so's the gameplay. As Mickey Mouse, you go door to door around the castle, much like a kid selling candy for a fundraiser.
Sell enough and you might get a radio alarm clock.
It seems, though, that you're more driven by sheer curiosity than an actual need to find your true love. So each door leads to a new stage of the game. Actually, this game is really no different than about a bajillion other 16-bit side-scrollers. You move along, practically skipping even, and jump around slamming your butt onto the heads of your enemies. Much like Super Mario.
If Mario had a lead ass.
Oh, and like Mario, Mickey has mad leaps. Maybe even madder than Mad Max.
Who runs Bartertown? Mickey runs Bartertown.
So, also in true Mad Max fashion, you collect apples, which can be used as projectile weapons. Now, this is something I've noticed being a common trend, specifically among Disney games. Fruit is deadly. See Aladdin.
Apples, usually filled with plenty of vitamins and minerals and part of a complete breakfast, are now part of a complete death.
An apple a day keeps the monsters at bay? Okay, never mind. That's really dumb. Delete this.
Hey, apples to oranges, you actually go from apples to marbles and later a ball of fire.
What was it? Okay. So, most of the game mechanics are standard. There are a few fun little twists to the gameplay, but for the most part it's basic. For example, in this stage, you spend some time flipping the level upside down to smash a group of enemies all at once.
Just look at that silly clown. Gets what's coming to him.
Dude, Chris, what? Don't mention the clowns. You know Jeremy has a crippling fear of clowns. Oh, right. Yeah, he's got the fear of cats, right? I always feel like they're judging me.
The graphics are pretty good for 1990.
Considering Castle of Illusion came out within the first year of the system's North American lifespan. Good show, Sega.
Right. The animations are smooth, and the backgrounds utilize depth of field pretty well to make the game stages feel just a bit bigger than they really are.
There's your blast processing at work, ladies and gentlemen.
Booyah! Take that, Nintendo! I just said booyah. The music and sounds are they're par for the course. Nothing terribly special here, but they do serve their purpose just fine.
The music can be quite infectious, though, and this can be a good or a bad thing, depending on your mental state.
Any way you slice it, the game is fun. Not entirely sure why, but it is. The platforming is pretty straightforward and the bosses are nothing special, but somehow this game manages to shine almost 20 years after it was released.
Kids these days may scoff at Mickey Mouse when comparing him to a certain blue, rude dude, but he was the first rodent-wrecking shop on the Sega Genesis. Sonic came out in '91.
Dude, you just dated us so badly. Kids these days? Look, the point is, he gets the job done. No super speed or bad attitude needed. Just a frolic, classic butt slam, and all smiles.